Tonight, we begin with a legal development that court insiders had feared, analysts had predicted, and Trump allies had quietly hoped would never come. This was not a slow-moving shift that unfolded over months. It happened in a single day that reshaped the legal landscape, raised the stakes for Donald Trump's inner circle, and pulled Melania Trump directly into the realm of sworn testimony. What investigators set in motion crossed a boundary Trump's legal team had worked hard to preserve. And when that boundary gave way, the federal judge did not hesitate. The response was firm, direct, and impossible to misread. For weeks there had been signals, not official announcements, not public warnings, just subtle indicators that prosecutors were preparing something unusual. Trump's legal strategy has often been bold, but also carefully controlled. Motions, delays, appeals, a familiar rhythm. But recently that rhythm went quiet. Legal observers who track high-level federal cases recognize the signs: sealed filings, unexpected court scheduling, closed-door coordination, then silence. And in major investigations, silence often signals that something significant is about to surface. That moment came early today, when court officials confirmed a compelled testimony order requiring Melania Trump to appear under oath. This kind of step is not routine. Prosecutors usually pursue it only when they believe a witness may hold relevant information, when that information is considered necessary, or when timing becomes critical. Observers could not immediately tell which of those factors applied here, or whether all three did. But one thing was clear: prosecutors were shifting posture. And when federal investigators change posture without public warning, defense teams pay close attention. The reaction from Trump's legal team was swift and serious. This was not treated as symbolic or procedural routine. It was urgent. Sources close to the defense described emergency legal discussions aimed at understanding the scope of what testimony might involve. Legal pressure only works if the court hesitates, and in this case, the judge did not. The order signaled that the investigation is moving forward, not slowing down. Within hours, Trump attorneys were preparing strategies to limit questioning. These were not everyday objections. They were protective legal maneuvers, typically used when testimony could open new lines of inquiry. Legal analysts say prosecutors are focused on timelines, communications, and knowledge of events already under review. Melania Trump is not accused of wrongdoing, but sworn testimony changes the legal environment. Statements given under oath are fixed, legally binding, and subject to penalty if false. That gives prosecutors a powerful tool: consistency. They are moving to secure answers before narratives can shift. They are examining sequence, who knew what, and conversations that may help connect pieces investigators have been assembling for months. In other words, they are seeking corroboration, the element that turns suspicion into evidence. This is why the judge's decision carried such weight. It was not dramatic or political in tone. It was procedural, precise, and potentially impactful. Experts say this development may also be designed to test the reliability of information already provided by other witnesses. When investigators compare sworn accounts, they look for alignment or contradiction. The judge's willingness to compel testimony suggests confidence that prosecutors met the legal standard required. Former federal attorneys describe such moves as pressure points, not public spectacles, but strategic steps meant to verify facts independently. The methodical pace matters. Each legal step builds on the last, reinforcing the sense that the inquiry remains active and structured. As the day progressed, more context came into view. Other witnesses have appeared in recent weeks. Document reviews continue. Prosecutors are narrowing their focus around key timeframes. This is not routine legal housekeeping. It reflects consolidation, the phase when investigations begin organizing evidence into clearer frameworks. Consolidation is often what turns broad inquiries into defined legal cases. Historically, Trump's team had argued that close family members would remain outside the direct path of questioning. That assumption now appears less certain. Legal distance and family proximity are no longer separate ideas in this context. The moment is especially significant because it comes as Trump balances campaign activity with multiple legal challenges. Political messaging demands confidence, but legal strategy demands caution. When decisions happen under that kind of pressure, they tend to come from urgency, not comfort. As the week continues, more information will likely emerge about what prosecutors hope to establish. But tonight, the meaning of the judge's order is already clear. It clarified the court's authority, accelerated the investigative timeline, and signaled that potential witnesses cannot rely on assumption alone to avoid scrutiny. What happens next depends on how the defense responds. If they succeed in narrowing testimony, momentum could slow. If they do not, prosecutors have shown they are prepared to move forward. For the first time in this investigation, Melania Trump is no longer entirely on the sidelines. The courtroom may be quiet, but the quiet carries significance. Because tonight delivered three unmistakable signals. The investigative circle is tightening, the pace is increasing, and the legal spotlight is widening. This story is far from over, but one thing is certain: the pressure just went up.